Richard Johnson, thanks so much for joining us. We're here at Lord's training. This will be the last training session before the opener against Lancashire. Last time out I caught up with Rory because I think you were away having an operation on the wrist. First and foremost, how is that?
All good, thank you. Had my stitches out yesterday, so I had a carpal tunnel operation a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, all good, raring to go again. So looking forward to the start of the season. So yeah, last session before it all starts.
Is that too much dog chucking in the nets or too much beer drinking at home?
Probably a combination. It's just part and parcel, unfortunately. It's one of those. But yeah, it's all good now, thanks.
Good stuff. Jono, it's been a fantastic pre-season. Obviously, we've had the normal time that we'd spend in the marquee up at Merchant Taylors, but obviously this year the boys have got to get out there on the Lord's slope nets. From your perspective, how successful have they been? Because the lads are raving about them.
Yeah, I think we've always said Merchant Taylors look after us really well. To have the marquee up there for those sort of cold, wet, damp March days is absolutely perfect. And it was just a bonus really for the start of the year to have the grass nets ready for us to use. I was a little bit apprehensive because we're probably about 3 months early, but the weather's been good. Groundsman assured me they were ready to go, and obviously we trust those guys implicitly down there. So yeah, we cracked on, and they were fantastic, really good, great surface. The boys down there have done a brilliant job.
Good to hear. Came out of those, Jono, straight into a couple of pre-season friendlies. We were down in Hampshire at the Utility Bowl, then obviously back at Merchant Taylors against Surrey. 2 really good run-outs, plenty of overs in the bowlers' legs, and plenty of time in the middle for some batters. Lots of positives to take.
Yeah, we only had 2 two-day games, which is, we normally try and do a bit more than that, but it worked quite nicely. 1 day batting, 1 day bowling, both games. As you say, the bowlers got some good overs in their legs. Every batter got a chance out in the middle, and most of them took it. So look, we're as ready as we can be to go. We've had some fantastic nets here at Lord's this week as well. So the boys are really, really up and keen and can't wait for the season to start.
Jono, you read any of the pre-season previews that have been put out in the cricket media about kind of who's going to do well this season, who's going up, who's not? We're up there with Lancashire as one of the favourites. So obviously we start with a tough game against Lancashire this coming week. Yeah. It's either one of the most elaborate April Fool's jokes of all time, but we hear news from Lancashire's press day yesterday that Jimmy Anderson won't be playing. I guess good from us, from a facing in perspective, but shame for the spectators, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Look, Jimmy's a legend, isn't he? And I think even the boys are excited about facing him. Yeah. You know, there's not often you face someone of his calibre and what he's done in the game. So in a way, it's a bit disappointing that we're not facing him. But from our perspective, doesn't matter who turns up. We're sort of prepared to face whoever and whatever. And you know, as I say, it would have been nice to see him here on one hand, but not having a legend like that playing against you is probably a good thing as well. So
I couldn't agree more. Jono, just going back to that pre-season friendly, obviously a couple of players stuck their hand up and spent some really good quality time in the middle, Stephen Eskenazi being one of them. From your perspective as head coach, I suppose it's nice you've got now for the first time in a number of years a really strong batting lineup and some real kind of quality there, some real depth there, which I suppose poses itself a headache or two in terms of you for selection.
Yeah, I've always looked at that from a football manager side. You know, when football managers say, yeah, it's a good problem to have, and you think, well, is it? Okay. No. Yeah, we've not hidden the fact that we're trying to build a squad to compete, not only to win a second division championship, but we want to be competing to win a first division championship. And you know, to do that, you've got to have good players, and to do that, good players are going to miss out. And I think that as a group, we've talked to the players about it. You know, we're a squad, and we've got to be more competitive as a squad, and we've got to be fighting to get in the first team as a squad. And good people are going to miss out, and that will be the case this week. You know, good players will miss out, and I think if for us as a club moving forward, you know, that's got to happen more and more. We've got to add, and we've got to make sure that we're competing on all formats, and that to do that, as I say, good people will miss out along the way.
I suppose that's a problem that we haven't had for a while, but it's a problem that other counties face, and someone like Ben Geddes, for example, down at Surrey is a perfect example of that. Ben wasn't getting enough cricket due to the strength of the Surrey lineup. He's chosen to leave, and obviously joining us is a great thing. You must have been pleased with Ben hitting some runs at Merchant Taylors last week.
Yeah, absolutely. He as I've said to you before, I think he is a super young player with a massively high potential, big ceiling, and we're really excited to see him start off this week, home of cricket, and see where that can take him. It's up to him now. He's got all the ability there, and we'll support him and nurture him and help him as much as we can to make him the player that we know he can be. So, I know he's very much looking forward to it and very excited about it, as we are.
Good to hear. Jono, back to Lancashire this coming week. One glaring omission, I guess, from the squad is no Dane Patterson for this opening game. My understanding of that situation that perhaps you can expand on is that Western Province's side back home in South Africa are in contention, I think, to qualify for their knockouts and potentially get to the final of their competition. So Dane is one of a number of players in the Western Province side that were due to come over to England and play county cricket, but they've actually held those players back to complete their competition. So I think I'm right in saying he'll miss the first game?
Yes, that's right. He won't be here for this game. He's playing for Western Province this week. We are hopeful that he'll be here, obviously, next week. Disappointing from our point of view because we felt, he would be available, but he's their player and they need him for this week. Just like if we had the same situation, we'd be holding our player back. So it gives an opportunity, great opportunity for one of our bowlers to step up that might not have or wouldn't have played if Dane was here. So there's, as we've just talked about, real competition for places. Bowlers will be fighting for their spots, batters will be fighting for their spots. So it feels that that's all part and parcel, and it's just added to it by Dane not being here. But hopefully he'll get here as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Well, Jono, thanks ever so much for joining us. All the very best luck over the coming 4 days. I hope it goes well, and I think we'll probably be catching up with you next ahead of the Glamorgan game. But go well this week.
Cool. Take care.